Hey guys, so welcome to technology. So now let's continue with JavaScript conditional statements. So what are JavaScript conditional statements? Is JavaScript conditional statements allows you to execute specific block of the code if their condition is met. So you have if statement for conditional statements. You have if statement. You have if else statement and else if statement and switch statement as we all know and ternary operator. So if you don't know this, I will explain this. And nested if else, and that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. So this is it. There is a table here. So let me give the example for this. Examples for this. So what are the conditional statements we have in the JavaScript? Are if statement, if else statement, if statement, else if statement, switch statement, ternary operator, and we have nested if else statement. Okay, so let me explain this for you. So we know what if statement, else if statement, we know all this, right? So if you don't know, I'll explain it. Okay, so let x equal to some 10, for example. Where is our x? It's gone. So if x is x percentile 2 equal to 0, so that means x is divided by, like if x is divided by 2, then the remainder is 0. Then what we have to do, we have to print it as even. Okay, okay, so we have to print it as even. So if x percentile 2 is not equal to 0, that means it is not equal to 0, then we have to print it as odd, because it is odd number. So let me run this. Look at that. So we given 10, so that is even number. So we got the output as even. So if else statement, we have if, we have else instead of, like, we no need to write any condition. We just have else here, and yeah, that's it. So next, else if statement. What is else if statement is? We have one more condition here. It's else if, that is, let's say, if x is greater than 10, then good. Else if it's x is less than 10, then print average. Next we write else console.log of if x is not these two values, that means x is neither not greater than 10 not less than 10, then print it excellent, print as excellent. Okay, so let's try to run this. So this is else if statement. So now the x value is 10. X value, okay. So let's write x equal to less. We should write less than or equal to, okay. Average. So is average. Next, switch statement. So we know switch statement. So there is nothing to explain here. So let's try to see ternary operator. So ternary operator is nothing but so simple, guys. It's so easy. For example, let's take this x equal to 10, some x equal to 10, and let's write some, take a variable const result equal to. So if x, x greater than or equal to 10, then if we want to print, then what we have to print, question mark. So we put a question mark, and whatever we want to print, we write it here. Let's write good. Okay. So, or otherwise, what we have to print. So for that, we put this. We have to print bad. Okay. That's it. That is ternary operator. So let's try to print the result. Let's see. So the result is, okay, I'm sorry. The string shouldn't be there. The result is good. That means x is greater than or equal to 10, so the result is good. So that is ternary operator, we know that. So next, nested if else. Nested if else means the if is in another if. So for example, okay. So for example, we have something like this. Nested if means nothing but if x is, let's take equal to of, we written a condition here, right? X is greater than 10. And let's write another condition here. That is another if condition. If x equal to 10. So equal to, for example, greater than 10 means it can be 20, right? So it's equal to 20. So then console.log, you got 20 marks. You got 20 marks. Okay, and that's it. So that means in the if condition, we're writing another if condition. So that is nested if. So let me run this for you. Let me take like 20. So what we got here, good, you got 20 marks. Okay. So that is nested if. Okay. So that is it, guys. That is pretty much it about the conditional statements in the JavaScript. So, and we also have like switch statement, JavaScript switch statement, and this is the syntax for that, for this. So switch statement is nothing but, let me explain this. So we have switch, which is the keyword and the expression in it, and we have case value one, and in the case value, so that means if this value is correct, what we have to print. So then it breaks after printing it. So if this value is correct, what we have to print, and after printing it breaks. So if not all these values are correct, then default is printed. So in the default, we have like default code block. That means the default value is printed. So that is everything about switch statement. So you can see in the flowchart. So here the switch conditional statements. If the case one is true, then this statement prints. Case two is true, this statement prints. If the case one is not true, then it just goes to the case two. Case two is not true, it goes to the case three. If it is not true, then it goes to the specified number of cases we have. So if all these cases are not true, then it goes to the um, default case, which is it prints the default statement, and at the end of the day, it returns to the statement after the switch block. Okay, so that is it about switch block. These are all the things in the switch block. So, and I will demonstrate the switch block for you. And we already did it actually, but if you want it once again, I'm going to do that. But this is a for loop. We know the for loop. It's just basic, pretty simple for loop, which is in the other programming languages. We have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, and code. So next we have the flow chart of the for loop. How for loop works. So here we start with the initialization. So we check the condition. So if the condition is true, then statement is executed. So after that, the increment or decrement happens. So once the condition is false, then it ends. Okay, so we know this. So more loops in JavaScript are while loop, do while loop, for off loop. So iterates over the values of an iterable object. So like arrays, strings, maps, sets. With these stuff it iterates. Okay, the for off loop. Okay. So that is pretty much it, guys. That is it about far off loop. Okay. So if you want the switch statement, there's nothing there. Okay, I've actually did it already. Let me show that to you. So yeah, look at this. So here we have console.log of language. So this is another one. This is the So here we have like const fruit equal to apple, switch of fruit, case apple, console.log of apple is selected. So here what is happening here? Switch expression, we give an expression. So this is the case value, and this is the case value case, and this is the case value one. So if this case is correct, what we have to print. If this case is correct, what we have to print. Okay, so that is what going on here. So, and if all these cases are not correct, then these default values printed. So, for example, let's give in the place of switch, let's give, let me try to give, so that is about the switch statement. So, generally, here, let me try to show you something. So, if we given here apple, right? So, now let's try to close this and day name equal to, let me give something else here. So now let's see what we get out of for output. Okay, there is an error. I didn't close this comment, maybe that's why, or why there is an error here. Okay, let me try to run this again. Error. Why, why it is showing as an error? So now, okay, I didn't closed this actually. That's why there is an error. God. Okay. So now let's see. We can see that apple is selected, mango is selected, and no fruit is chosen. Okay. So this is it. So here we have. So yeah, here we have like the switch statement. So here we have case apple. So for example, let's do it in another way. So let's put like We have to write the break statement here, right? For everything. So that it stops execution there. Let's run this. So now Apple is selected. So this is our switch statement. So we have switch and then we have case and then we have default statement. For each case, there is a break statement. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. So this is everything about the normal basics basics of the JavaScript. So next we can move on to the um, expressions and operators and then functions, then all that. Okay, I feel like it's better to move on to. I mean, it's better to look at the expressions and operators or no functions, all these basics, like in a more briefly than in a detailed way. It's better to look at them, look at more complex concepts like events and all that in a more detailed way in JavaScript. Okay, validations, events, memory management, inheritance and prototype chain, and object oriented programming, all this. Okay, so yeah, as we go further, let's explore everything about this language. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and bye. Take care.